Hello, this video is intended for the test administrators of the PARCC test. I'm going to go through step by step some of the tasks that you'll have to perform the day of testing. So when you first log on, you'll see that you'll have three options here, and the background of this website will be blue. We're in the training website right now, which is brown, but when you log in the day of testing, it should be blue. To get started, we have to locate our session. So to do that, under the testing drop-down menu, there is an item called sessions. If we click on that, now your sessions may appear or they may not. Either way, if we use this drop-down menu next to search and we show all results, that'll show you all of the testing sessions for your school. Now, I would suggest logging in prior to the testing day to locate the exact name of your session. Once you locate the name of your session, today's session is called a YouTube session. We would click on the YouTube session, and then I'm going to scroll up here to go to Students in Session. You'll see that the YouTube session now appears in my queue. If I click on it, I'm able to see the testing resources here. And then underneath, I'm able to see that there are 5 students in this class. They are taking the Algebra 1 test, and you would see the students' names here. So you'll notice that my button is green. Now your button may or may not be green. If it is green, in order to start the test, you simply just have to press the Start button. If you log on and the button is already red, then you're all set and your students are ready to log on. So there's a couple of items that I want to show you before we get into the student indicators. The first thing I want to show you is where the downloadable resources are. Here you can download seal codes or student username and passwords if the test coordinator did not include them with your packet. Other thing I want to show you is if you click on a student's name here, and then in the task menu, you'll see that if you click on Manage Student Tests, and then you click on that student, you can see his class, his test, and then any accommodations or accessibility functions that the student is identified for. So it's a good way to test to make sure the student is indeed where he belongs. Once a student starts the test, you'll see that their status, student test status turns from ready to green and active. Now, you can actually monitor a student's progress by clicking on the active button. By clicking on the active button, you can see that this student is active, and he's answered 40% of the test. He's answered 14 of the questions. And we can also see when and in fact how long it's taking him to enter each one of these questions. Once a student has exited the test on the Chromebook or whatever device they're taking it on, you'll see that the active button now has turned to red and it says exited. Now, the student will not be able to log back in for session 2 or at a makeup test until the test is resumed. So let's say the students are coming in for session 2. Before the students are able to log in again, what you'd have to do is you'd have to check the student that has exited, and one of the tasks is called Resume Student Tests. So check the student, check Resume Student Tests, start that task, we check the student, and then we resume. It's a success. We exit the task, and now we can see that the student is now orange and or yellow, and the student now can log back in. Once a student has completed all the tests and clicked the button Submit Final Answers, the green status button will turn blue and it'll say completed. Now before they click the button to submit final answers, there is the opportunity for students to go back and review the questions. by clicking on the completed, you can see if there's any questions not answered. So as you can see in the column here, they visited the question and did they submit an answer. So if an answer is missing, the program does let you know. So prior to submitting the final answers, students would be encouraged to go back and fill in any answers that they did not finish. That kind of sums it up what will be required on the day of testing. You will not be required to stop the test. So from this point, your job would be done on the tech side. But if you have any questions, feel free to send us an email and we'll try to sort it out.